defensive coordinator, linebackers coach Andrew Thacker, and we'll go ahead and open it right up for questions for Coach Thacker. We'll start with Kelly.
Obviously, you open the game, you get a good stop after giving up the explosive, and then it seemed like after the pick six, things kind of fell apart defensively. Kind of what did you see when you went back and looked at the film from Notre Dame?
Yeah, it didn't. So first drive, kickoff went deeper than we wanted. Gave up an explosive on the very first play on a deep layered route right there. Kid responded, got sacked. Wes Jackson got the sack off the second play. Got him off schedule on the third play on a counter to the boundary, and then won that first third down. So was pleased with the guys after the short field position. Had a chance to go and go respond in that moment right there. Before we got back on the field, then you're in a 10-0 hole. We asked them to not let those things affect them. I would be lying to you if I told you that doesn't have some type of human emotion, human feeling to it. And we always train and teach those guys to battle past that moment to put the ball down. We're not going to stop training, even through adverse situations, even in those moments, for them to continue to do that. So that's what we're asking them to do. What was the response? Yeah, not good enough. Not good enough. If there's tangible questions you want to ask, I'm not being coy, but obviously not good enough in those moments. So we've got to find a way, irregardless of complimentary football or not, of what we're doing on our side of the football. So we're put in that bad position right there. We've got to respond in those moments. Responded early on, then after that, to your point, didn't respond enough. And once they got it going, gave up some short fields, gave up some explosives like we've had, and then we've got to find a way to win on third down. Kids are going to keep battling. They're going to keep protecting the name on their jersey, and they're going to keep protecting the GT. They're going to keep battling and not give up past those moments.
Rod.
Andrew, when you look at the depth on your team, you have a lot of young players, backing up some of the starters, and some of them are starting to get, a little bit longer chance on the field. The Tatums, the Edwards, Robinsons, how is that progress coming in building that depth and maybe looking at guys who are going to be starters down the road?
Sure. There's always a ton of optimism when we look at that. Those young guys that can play, just from my room as an example, we knew Ace was going to be down. Obviously coming in off the target, and he was going to be down for the first half. It was amazing to watch him be a teammate to somebody like Trinilius Tatum. So where I had been resistant to put Trinilius Tatum into some games, not because of anything, or not even because of his development, but just because Ace Healy's such a rock for us, physically, emotionally, spiritually out there on the field, just as a leader. I've been resistant to do that. So it forced me to play a guy like Trinilius Tatum. And the moment for him in particular was not too big. He went out there, battled. He absolutely made some mistakes. He went out there, battled. So it's you can't replace that. We can go out there and we can train all day, we can practice all day, we can watch film, we can try to build them up for that moment, but you can't replace something like Trinilius Tatum, a true freshman running out there as the starting right linebacker at Notre Dame, and what that's going to do for his future. Specifically up front, too, those ends, those young guys, those Noah Collins making a huge play on a counter, and the Josh Robinson and thit's those worlds. There's a lot of promise in those young men, and you cannot replace those playing time opportunities for them.
Ken.
I'm curious, who is graded out generally the best over the course of the season?
As an individual?
Right, individually, yeah.
Just anybody on the defense, is that what you're asking?
Right, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
Of course, if we say somebody, it's going to leave someone out and it's going to imply things. I'll give you somebody that I'm really proud of, the way they've stayed the course over the season. That's battled their tails off and has had consistently high grades. That would be a Jamin Brooks inside on the interior, the defensive tackle that continues to battle every week. And so many things that you don't see on a stat sheet that a linebacker second level dude may have. He's somebody that is graded well and has battled and at times has played at some portion of an all-conference caliber player when he's played at his best.
Anthony.
When you look at the Georgia offense on tape, including quarterbacks Stetson Bennett, JT Daniels, what stands out to you when you look at them?
The pieces around them, they're very talented quarterbacks, manage the game very well, and they really limit their mistakes. But the pieces around them are really special. So when you're a quarterback and you have those pieces around you, you've got a big front. They have an identity in being able to establish the run and then being able to distribute the football. So being smart with the football, not hurting themselves. They know that they've got good complementary football and good pieces around them. So how well that they don't hurt themselves is probably the biggest piece of it. That's not any type of comment about their talent. They both have their own skill sets. One's a more just natural thrower. One's a little more savvy, but both talented in their own rights. But how they use the pieces around them, which is smart on their behalf.
Kelly.
Defensively, you guys have struggled to defend between the hashes, on level concepts, anything that's kind of like that kind of stuff, especially with tight ends. You get 12 personnel this time, and they're very multiple and like to work that part of the field. Kind of how do you fix that? How do you get your guys in better positions to defend that too?
Yeah. All the way in week 12, we worked through a route period, and we throw all those things at them. Condensed splits and deep over routes and layered routes, and it's rampant in football. We started in the NFL. Now it's actually worked down to college more prevalent with these Boston colleges and Georgias and these Virginia Techs and these deep layered routes. So there's two coverage structures that we mainly work out of. So being able to grab this, as always, there's complementary pieces of the football, the front end tying into the back end. But at the end of the day, there's only a certain amount of coverages that we run and how we grab those things. So pre-snap communication is a big piece of it. Normally when they're doing those type routes, they're positioned in a certain way in tighter and condensed splits. So being able to be prepared for those moments, and even in week 12, we're trying to correct those things through objective periods, pass matchup periods with our base coverages versus those layered routes.
Other questions for Coach Thacker? Ken?
I'm curious, just overall, how would you evaluate how the defense has done this year? I'm sure it's not to your standards, but just what would you say about the defense play over the season?
Not standard. It's really a question for after this week. So I'm usually really forthcoming with answers for you right there. It's a tough question at this moment. Obviously coming off that performance right now, but we're really going to answer that after this week. We're going to keep protecting the name on the back of our jerseys and keep protecting the GT this week. That's the message. That's the plan right now. Keep battling, keep attacking this practice this week. But to give it a grade, not willing to do that right now. Not out of disrespect, but just.
Yeah, Freddie.
What are some keys that you're emphasizing to your defense as you go into Saturday's game against this Georgia offense?
Attack. Don't have any fear. Yeah, don't have any fear. Go let it loose. Nothing changed in our process this week as far as trying to get 3 personnel packages with the best players on the field in those moments. Our process didn't stop. We're not going out there and going to go play a vanilla defense and not try to go attack these guys. So start fast and have an attack mode. We're not going to sit back passively for the entire game. We're going to go attack success out there and let it eat. We've got a bunch of guys with a lot of pride. Really, really do. Individual young men, and then we're trying to build the collective of a bunch of guys to go finish, to keep fighting through injury, to keep fighting through the pains of week 12, to keep fighting through circumstances, to go out there and battle. So they're going to go out there and attack, and we're going to go shoot our shot.
Kelly.
Do you think maybe some of the guys are playing tight and overthinking at times? It seems like, particularly in the back end, just guys aren't turning it loose and maybe playing relaxed football where they're dialed in. Has that been an issue that you've seen? Is that something that you're maybe I'm off? I don't know.
I don't know how you judge that. I mean, I don't know how you judge that. I don't know how you evaluate that. I don't know how you would fix that. I mean, we certainly we are not trying to beat down our young men, certainly in this moment. So we are certainly trying to build confidence. So how do you build confidence? You go out and you prepare. You correct them through constructive criticism. But we are not trying to beat them down. We're trying to build confidence out there over the course of the season. Maybe if you don't have success, that stays in your mind, and you're trying to battle through those moments. I don't know how you truly evaluate that. We go through the objectivity of this is your assignment. Are you executing it? Are we trying to condescend you in making those moments and those points? Absolutely not. Are we trying to build you up and teach you the right things? Continue to be teachers through everything that we do.
Anything else? Yeah, Freddie. Last one.
Yes. How much meaningful is this game this year? Not only because it's a rivalry, but considering the fact you guys didn't even play last year because of COVID.
Yeah, I missed that. One of the special rivalries. I'm a Georgia boy. I grew up around here, so just seeing that rivalry and how special it is. So missed it this past season off the COVID year, but special to a lot of guys. A lot of guys really, really have pride. They really, really have pride in the Georgia Tech and what they're doing individually, what we're trying to do collectively. So it'll be a special moment for a lot of guys here in our stadium.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it, guys.